Police running all in and out the building. What the hell is going on?
What up, Lo?
Hey, what's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, you know what it is. We are in here. What's good, fam? We are here. I decided to pull up, do a live. I don't know how long I'm gonna do this live, but yeah, I was working on a few things and I might give you guys a little sneak peek of what I got cooking. For this upcoming week. But I was like, man, let me go ahead and get a live going. So, hey, salute to everybody that's out there. I know people are going to be slowly rolling in and doing their thing. But yeah, man, I am excited that you guys are here and that we can have a good time. And I am actually going to have a few guests come in, and they are going to update us, tell us what's going on, and we just gonna have a good time tonight. So if you are watching this, go ahead and get in the chat section. Go ahead and talk to us. Go ahead and speak to us. I hope my mic sounds nice. And let's get it cracking on tonight. Let's get it cracking on tonight. Shout out to all my mods out there. If you are a mod, go ahead and share the channel to the respected chats. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There we go. We are live. You guys don't forget to ask Twuan. You know what I'm saying? Put it in the comment section. Any Raider related question, any life related question, put it in the chat, the comment section there. But make sure you put in all caps, ask Twuan. Make sure you do that. Actually, I will be and that's what I was working on today, was actually one that would be released next week. So we got some people asking Twuan. So join in the chat. Make sure you put ask Twuan in all caps with your question, Raider related or life related. And I will do a video on that. Yes, sir. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Who we got in here? Who we got in? Who we got in? Yeah. Oh, I forgot to do that. that right now. I know some of you guys are night owls. I was actually working on stuff, um, listening to Dirty, um, and I was like, man, I might as well. He closed out, and I was like, man, I might as well just do a live and see what's good with everybody. See what's good with everybody. So again, you guys definitely, I tell you guys this all the time. It's important, especially for this channel, that you put those notification bells on, because again, I go live at random. Everything is not scheduled um, here. I don't have anything really scheduled like a Thursday at 7 o'clock. That's not going to happen all the time. So I definitely would suggest that you put the notification bell on so you are notified when I do go live. I also will still be doing Raider Twuan live, again, which is more structured and more formatted on specific topics. But tonight, again, is what's good, fam. You know what I'm saying? Where um, some people will be coming in and sharing their thoughts, and we be discussing you know things at random. So definitely, um, you guys can also put your questions in the chat if you guys want to do so. As I do this here. Let me see what we got. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. All right. I think it's about that time, y'all. I think y'all know what time it is. It's Raider Roll Call. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. Every time we go live, every time we you know, get together, man. I gotta do a shout out to the folks in the Raider Nation. You know what I'm saying? So again, shout out to those that are in the chat. Definitely click the like button. You know what I'm saying? Cause you know what? I like you guys. The boss with the sauce, Alfredo. Good to see you, man. Raider Gabe is in the building. Shout out to you, man. Blessings. My man, Cool Kev, $2, man. $2. Of course, Nightbot is in here telling everybody subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and subscribe to Raider Twuan. It won't hurt you, and it's free. Raider Romeo, good to see you, man. Good to see you. My mod, All Eyes on G. Good to see you, man. Also, you guys, All Eyes on G is the one that actually made my logo. He also made my background, so shout out to him and all the work that he does. If you need any legal services, you know what I'm saying, hit up Circus and Associates. Good to see you, man. If you need any legal services, hit up Circus and Associates. Ozzy, good to see you, man. Good to see you. I don't know what time it is where you at, but blessings to you. Whatever time it is where you at, man. Good to see you. Let me see who else is here. Good to see. Cool Kev is in here getting busy in the chat. That's all good. Hey, actually, hey, Cool Kev, I think the last time I checked, you were I think you were my top chatter when I looked at the. I gotta check that probably when we get off live. But Cool Kev is active in here, which is great. Thanks for doing that. Raphael, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Blessings to you. I hope all is well with you, man. Again, continuing to pray for you and your family, man, at this time. Definitely. See if we get anybody. If you listening, go ahead and put your name. You know what I'm saying? Get your name on the roll. You know what I'm saying? Get your name on the roll. I'll give you guys a couple of seconds. See who comes in a little late. You know what I'm saying? A little late. Hey, you know what? Hey, it's all good. Hey, Gabe, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Kook Kev can chat all he want in here, you know what I'm saying? He gotta get his dry jokes off, you know what I'm saying? Hey, nah, but hey, the other day, I ain't gonna lie. I forgot what Kook Kev said, man. He said something. Uh Kukev said something, and I was like, "Man, that is not dry at all." I forgot what he said. I should have snapped at it. You know what I'm saying? Just to see, like, to remember that. But like, yeah, he said something. And I was like, "Man, he ain't never lied on that." All eyes. I'm at the time him out now. That time chat. Hey, hey, look, I might have to do a little competition or something, you know what I'm saying, to see who the top chatter is, you know what I'm saying. At one point I think it was actually Terrence. And then yeah, I gotta look because it actually, I don't know, it might be Cool Kev or Terrence. We'll see. We'll see. Hey, actually, you know what? Put it in the chat. Okay, so put one in the chat if you think it's Terrence, and put two in the chat for $2. $2 for Cool Cat. Put one in the chat if you think it's Terrence, and then put two in the chat if you think it is Cool Cat. Let me try to scroll up to see if I missed anything. If you guys got any questions, I'm actually going to be, jumping into some of those. But also, if you guys have any questions that you guys want me to do on a Ask Twuan video, definitely put hashtag Ask Twuan. Because I'm actually, like I said, I say about 90% done with the one that I'm about to release this coming week. Oh yeah. Like I said, I feel like this draft. Sorry, I feel like this draft class. It's going to contribute year one, especially Bennett, Mayer, Tucker, Young, and Wilson. To be honest with you, Ozzy, I feel the same, but it also factors in this too, is that, you know when you look at those players or you look at those specific positions, um, we definitely needed help in those areas. We needed help in corner. We need help at tight end. You know what I'm saying? We've been asking for, you know what I'm saying, a speedy wide receiver, not only on the offensive side of the ball, but someone that we can just have on special teams. And to be honest with you, if we're going to have a speedy somebody, you know what I'm saying, I rather it be, like I say all the time, cheap labor. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be spending, unless again, if there was a situation where we landed a Tyreek Hill or somebody like that, like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But when you have you know what I'm saying, when you're using that person as a wide receiver gunner or whatever the situation may be, that comes in as a I said a cheap labor situation. We have a special guest, you know what I'm saying, and I'm not even gonna say this person's name, you know what I'm saying. I'm just gonna let this person introduce himself, you know what I'm saying, but I think he's gonna keep it funky around here in a good way. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, I ain't even gonna say his name. I'm gonna let him introduce himself, the player partner himself.
Y'all thought it was over, huh? Can you dig it? Can you dig me? This is Raider Business. I know it says truly Tony, but this is the real truly himself. See, Tony just be using my swag. He jacks my swag. He comes on here and talk to y'all. But let me tell y'all something. This is what's really inside of him when he be talking. This is the nah. What's up, y'all? I'm back. Wig, dye fried, hit to the side. Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, you got that thing looking good on you, man. I was like, let me go ahead and let him introduce himself. I don't even know if I can give him a proper introduction. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's cool, because I think I had enough, man. Y'all can't be making dark skinned dudes blush. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Man, how you doing, man?
Man, man, if I told the truth, then you'll start praying for me and stuff like that. We'll do that later, man. But more good than bad. Trust me, more good. Okay. Way more good than bad. And we can make and do for a night, but joy is gonna come in the morning.
Right.
For those who.
Hey, this channel is for that. You know what I'm saying? You might not get that on other channels, but definitely, man, we definitely on this channel, I'm always gonna stop, you know what I'm saying, and pause for some prayer if somebody needed. You know what I'm saying? So
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that goes for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I got the little ticker going across the screen. You know what I'm saying? If you ever need prayer for you or your family members, definitely hit me up on the IG at Twuan, TWUAN. And like I say all the time, you know what I'm saying, your business is between me, you, and the Lord. I'm not out here to put your business out there in the street. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to worry about me running and writing an article about your business.
Or sell fake holy water.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? So definitely hit me up on IG and we can definitely agree in some prayer, man, for real.
Oh man, they be really selling. I wonder if people really be buying that water? That they be like, buy this special water.
Yeah,
I wonder if people they must do, because if the commercial's still running, that costs money.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's some people that have God, I really don't want to go too in depth with it, but
they won't. They have a better. What is it? A camel have a better chance going through the eye of a needle.
Well, what it is a lot of people have materialized the faith, and you know what I'm saying. But when it all breaks down to it, and when it all boils down to it, a lot of the stuff that you actually need that actually will, that does effectually work is free. So you ain't got to pay to get healing. You don't have to pay to get, deliverance. Or you don't have to pay for all that. That is free.
Touching the hem of his garment didn't cost nothing, but all she did was pay attention.
The action is free. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, the touching the hem of his garment, where the lady got healed because she touched the hem of his garment. That didn't cost anything. That just took an action of her believing and reaching.
No copay.
There was no Cash App, there was no Venmo, there was no swipe here, there was none of that.
You say, all right, now go give my secretary $30.
Yeah.
Everybody. But anyway, so where we at in the Raider business? What's the angle right now?
Man, to tell you the truth, tonight I was listening to you and Dirty. You know what I'm saying? And I was actually working on some behind the scenes, working on some stuff that I'm trying to get out for this coming week. So I was cooking while you guys was, doing your guys' thing. So
yeah,
I was like, let me break that silence, because and I know you know this as a writer. Sometimes you write, and then sometimes you're like, I need to step away for a little bit, take a little mental break or whatever, and then jump back in. So, I'm using actually this live to just kind of have a break from the work that I'm doing. So it can go anywhere as long as it's respectful and not too raunchy. You know what I'm saying? We can go wherever, man.
Okay, I got an idea, and this was something that me and Dirty talked about on off air, and there's a lot of moving parts of the organization that are important, that we really aren't as knowledgeable on, or we don't present it. And I'll start with one, which is our medical staff. Remember on Madden, when you used to have to, when you were doing the GM mode or whatever, and you had to get the medical staff, you had to get everything. And if you got the best medical staff, that gave your players the best chances of staying healthy. And I was just saying to myself, and because we were talking about Jimmy G and Perriman and different players that were important that are important, that there's some injury concerns. And then we were just talking about how injuries just happen anyway, and that's why depth is so important. But I don't know a lot about our medical staff. Do we have the best? Do we have the middle impact? Do we have the least best? Who do we have there, and who did they work? What organizations did they work with, and how successful was they there at keeping players healthy? Different things like that. I would love to get into that. Or if you know anything about it, if anybody in the chat knows anything about it, there's a lot of just underneath things that are important, and the medical staff is one of them. Because I remember, I think they changed, because just as an example, I think they changed the medical staff and for the Warriors, Golden State Warriors, and once they did that, Steph Curry his ankle wasn't just injury prone like it was in his first 2-3 years. But I think once they changed the medical staff, a lot more healthier. In fact, he was hurting other things. So, my God, Kev team no sleep hashtag. That's my God. But yeah, we may not be able to answer those in detail, but what do you think about that? Those parts of the organization that are important. We don't talk about.
So I'll say this in regards to that. I think a lot of our assessment kind of comes from just our own personal, do we believe that our medical staff is doing their job? You know what I'm saying? I don't think we've really got in depth with, like, okay, who.
I don't even know one name. I'm gonna look up some, but yeah.
And to be honest with you, I'll tell you this: a lot of people don't know about our medical staff because a lot of people truly think that, and there goes the word truly. Maybe we should talk about truly, but anyway, but honestly, a lot of people, when we talk about the medical staff, the first thing they want to say is Deuce Gruden, and Deuce Gruden
he's not even medical. He's
he don't even stir the drink,
right?
He don't even stir the drink when it comes to the medical staff because he's an assistant to the trainer.
Yeah, he's on strength and conditioning side, right?
Yeah. So like, again, that's how a lot of people have got it misconstrued. And to be honest with you, like, and I'll say this, even as a Raider fan, like, I believe that if the medical staff was better for the Chargers, they would be they would have a Super Bowl by now.
Yeah,
and I say that in the fact of looking at their roster, looking how deep their roster is, how much talent they actually have on their team, and every year they always get hit with some injury. Like, I call it the injury bug, but they always get knocked out because of, certain players being injured. So obviously there's something, I don't want to say something in the water, but there's something that the medical staff or strength and conditioning are not preparing these players for, that they're getting knocked out like that.
Pull up Cool Kev comment, bro. Pull up Kev comment. Oh my God. Yo, the Gatorade mixer. But you're right. And we know a lot of these guys have their own trainers, nutrition, things like that. But there are team activities that they do together with that staff. And yeah, I don't know how if it's successful or not. So I did pull up. I'm hoping I have the most recent. Looks like I have the most recent information. So the medical staff, the head team physician is Chad Hansen, and right under him, the MD is William Rosenberg. Michael Mayal, I hope I pronounced that correct, and Navdeep Singh. I'm gonna just add a fake accent on there just so I'll make it sound official, because then I have to say pause on that first name.
We don't pause over here. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to worry about that. We press play.
Well, I ain't gonna say his first name again without the accent. But so Chad Hansen is the head physician, William Rosenberg under him, Michael, and then Mr. Singh. That makes up the medical staff. I know this is not something we're gonna keep an eye on, and it's gonna be a big deal all season. But I did when that came up, I was like, that is an interesting topic matter, because it's very, very important it's a very important part to the team.
The medical staff are like cops, you know what I'm saying? They only matter when we need them. You know what I'm saying? Like that and I think that's what's going to happen is I think the only people that really look at the medical staff is when things hit the fan, you know what I'm saying? Or
they don't. They actually start looking at the GM like, who you bringing in? Who you bringing in?
That's another variable too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I think all, like I said, also we again, it all hell has to be breaking loose, and then maybe the medical staff will be talked about. It'll never be a specific name. You know what I'm saying? We never say the head of the, you know what I'm saying, so and so the head of the because I don't think anybody knows. And that would be a question that I would love to ask all fans. You know what I'm saying? Because especially on this channel, we're of course we're gonna talk about the Raiders, but I talk about the NFL as a whole. And if I could be a reporter and go to every all 32 teams and ask them who is the head of their medical staff, I guarantee you that nobody would get that answer correct.
Right. And if they got it correct, well, what do you know about? Can you tell us something about him?
Yeah.
I just, well, actually, not. If you know who is the head team physician, you know something about him. That's you got to dive deep. You're not going to just retain the name, but and let me paint this picture to even further make this topic, even more interesting. I think the actor's name is James Woods or whatever, from Any Given Sunday, the doctor, Any Given Sunday. And he was complicit in shark playing and Cap Rooney, the player, Quaid, the character Quaid played the quarterback. Like, there was politics even on that side.
Yeah.
Because remember, the assistant was like, he ran some tests, and the test that the head physician didn't run, and that's when Pacino was pissed. Like, you didn't tell me that Shark was this. You know what I mean? You didn't run that test, and then he was mad at his assistant for going over his head and running those tests, and find out what was really going on. Because Pacino's pissed. Like, you didn't tell me that at any given time he can have a concussion and be dead. And the head physician's like, hey, nobody hits like the Shark, But he also had a situation intertwined with the ownership, and the ownership wanted certain people to play and certain people not to play or whatever. And so the doctor can dictate that just by, here, he can't play. This is the situation, Circus, they got to fire that dude. Apparently, he always.
I forgot, but you know what I'm saying? I got to give the Raider Twuan brown cracker salute. You know what I'm saying? But there was a question, this one right here. So to answer that question, I'll tell you right now, they signed J.C. Jackson, and a couple of weeks after that, he got injured, and it changed their secondary. So I don't know what happened at the end of the season, but there's always like a key injury that happens to the Chargers, like every single year, and
it's a snowball effect.
Like Tony said, it's a snowball effect. One of them loses, gets hurt, then the other one gets hurt, and then someone else gets knocked out, and then now they're 5 games out of, playoff contentions or whatever.
After starting 6-2 or some crazy shit like that.
Yeah. So they always have, like, you probably can go every year that there was like a key injury from the Chargers. You know what I'm saying? And that's just me looking at a team and it's like, dang, they possibly could have made some noise, but there goes the injury bug. And I'm glad they have the injury bug, because again, that at least gives us a chance to try to sneak in there. But again, we gotta take those opportunities when we get those opportunities, and hopefully moving forward we'll be able to capitalize when other teams I'm not hoping other teams get injured, but when they do, we should be able to capitalize on that. Just simple as that.
I'll say it. Yeah. I hope when they get injured, it's at an opportune time. Injuries are a part of football. Injuries are a part of football. So yeah, I prefer you be hurt mid to late season and get out of our way, because we're going to be hurt. You know what I mean? Nobody going to cry for us. We're going to have players hurt. For all we know, Jimmy G can be out week 3.
And look, like you said, They'll have no sympathy.
None.
You telling me Brian Hoyer's coming in? You really telling me a rookie's gonna come in? Oh yeah, we're throwing every blitz at them, and that's what happens. That's what's gonna happen to Aiden O'Connell. As much as I'm not talking bad on Aiden O'Connell. I think eventually he's going to play well. But when you have a rookie that goes in there, the defensive coordinator throws all these different blitzes at him because they've never seen them before. The pro blitzes that you see in the NFL are not the blitzes that they did in college. You know what I'm saying?
I think you do see them. I think you see them, but it's faster.
That too.
It's just faster. You see them, but it's faster. You know, you got the best of the best doing their assignment.
Yeah.
And so I think they see it just faster. Man blitzes, I think a rookie quarterback should be able to eat that up. Zone blitzes, that's the problem. When you get them off of their spot and they think what they see is there and they throw right into coverage. Man blitzes, I'm not so worried about that. I'm worried about zone blitzes the most for a rookie quarterback.
And you learn about that because again we talk about it all the time, and the players talk about it all the time. When that first year, everything is going so fast. You know what I'm saying? That when they get into that second year, and I think that's why I'm optimistic about this year for us as Raiders, is a lot of our second year guys, the game is going to slow down for them. So they'll be able to, you know what I'm saying, react and do whatever they need to do at a faster pace.
How many guys did we bring in that played in Graham's system? I know we worked out one of them. We just worked out somebody. And I don't want to do the name because I'm
Jalen Smith from the Cowboys.
Was it the Cowboys?
The linebacker.
Yeah. He's with the Cowboys. So, it's not, bringing in guys that can also teach it from a player's perspective is going to be great. Like I said on Dirty Show, I do believe this is a top 10 defense. They played top 10-ish in spots last season with pieces they threw together, from the clearance section at Walmart, as far as our depth is concerned on the back end. So the hey, y'all, it's late. Y'all still on fire, chat. Y'all still,
hey, Circus. Hey, Circus.
You smoke crack, don't you?
He said yes.
all love, man. But
love.
Man, come on.
Love.
Hey, look. I already said it about Brian Hoyer, man. I said, look, if Brian Hoyer if we trot out Brian Hoyer out there, look, on this channel, we doing mock drafts. I'm looking for the next hot thing, dog, because look, our season is gonna be over. I that's just how I feel, just to be honest with you, when it comes to quarterbacks. I think Jimmy G, we got to keep him in bubble wrap, but if we got to resort to Hoyer or the rookie O'Connell, yeah, it's going to be a very rough season, because again, you're expecting a rookie. You know what I'm saying? If we tried out Aiden O'Connell out there, we're expecting a rookie to act like a veteran in his first year.
They did that with Peyton Manning too, and I'm not calling Peyton Manning. Don't even start. Don't y'all don't do that.
Yeah.
But what I'm gonna say,
it's tough sledding. I'll just say it like that.
Yeah. Do you think Jimmy G injury will give McDaniels the benefit of a doubt for another year?
I'm sorry, what was that?
So if Ziegler in the front office, along with McDaniels, went out and got a bona fide starter, whoever that is, right? He would be expected to win under every circumstance. I think Jimmy G has bought him another year or two.
You think so?
If Jimmy G gets hurt, is anybody going to be shocked?
Yeah.
And would anybody kind of say, well, we could have had this backup and that would have got us there? No.
I need names. And when I say I need names, I need some
What backup would you be like? If we got him, we'd be like, hey, if Jimmy G goes down, I'm good with him.
No, I'm not saying names of quarterbacks. I'm saying I need names of you were responsible for this situation. Because for an example, if you're saying if Jimmy G goes down and you said that gives McDaniels time, okay, so
no, I think picking him up gives him time because there is that factor that like if he goes down, nobody would be shocked and nobody would blame him.
I would still want some accountability. I would want either McDaniels to say, hey, it was my fault that we brought in McDaniels and we didn't have a contingency backup plan for that, or Ziegler comes out and says, hey, we were too late on looking or picking up a quarterback, you know what I'm saying, for the future or for the next, you know what I'm saying, situation. Because I think that's a part of the reason, even with Derek Carr, was that for the longest, even if we wanted to get rid of Derek Carr, there was nobody behind him that was ready to take the reins, or someone we could be like, okay, that person can hold us down for 4 or 5 games. We didn't have that. If you look at all the backups,
Stiddy's agent just. I mean,
outside of Mariota, but again,
Stiddy's agent just texted me this.
Yeah.
No, I'm just playing. I'm not like Stiddy's agent watching the show, but
hey, he might be watching this show, and to be honest with you, it was very interesting to me that Stidham. To be honest with you, he could have been the starter for us, but he decided to go to the competition to be a backup.
Yeah. But he decided to get paid because that might be his biggest yearly salary he'll get in his league.
That too.
But what I mean by what I mean by that, all eyes, is that were the Raiders going to pay Lamar Jackson, you know what I mean, a crazy amount of money? Nope. Not too many people were excited that if Tom Brady was to play again, they wanted him because it's a lot of people complain about being the Patriots West. The Jets wanted an arm and leg for Aaron Rodgers. So then we dropped down to a whole tier where Jimmy G is basically in the next tier of quarterbacks, which Jimmy G is basically in. So, and chat hit me if I'm wrong. Who else was available in that next tier that you'd have been comfortable with for a decent price? Because you still got to pay. They still haven't paid Josh.
And you know, to be honest with you, I think we're pigeonholed, and I hate to say it like that, but I just really think in that situation, and I said this when we were in search for a quarterback, I felt like we were pigeonholed because no matter who we bring in here, they have to be pretty much had to play for the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? We had to look at Cam Newton. We had to look at Mac Jones. We had to look at Tom Brady. We had to look at, you know what I'm saying, all the quarterbacks that played with the Patriots. It's not like we could have went to another, you know what I'm saying, another organization and said, oh, I like how this quarterback plays and this quarterback's going to work with, you know what I'm saying?
What we ended up with doesn't mean that they didn't try. It's just that teams was probably like, oh, really? You're interested? Oh, well, this is the type of package we need for that. For a starting quarterback, man.
And to be honest with you, like even though I would have liked Aaron Rodgers to be here, I don't think Aaron Rodgers would have fit. Because I think he would have bumped heads with McDaniels when it comes to play calling.
I don't know, because you don't coach everybody the same way, even though McDaniels tries to. But I mean, him and Devontae would have just came at McDaniels and McDaniels. I don't think he's that hard nosed. I think he would have talked to Aaron and Devontae and been like, "You guys had a lot of success in Green Bay. What worked for you guys? That's in our scheme that we can exploit teams defenses with." And I think there's a plethora of plays in there that are similar to what they had in Green Bay that had them successful.
Yeah.
There will be some audible situations, but I don't think Derek Carr has done enough in his career to tell McDaniels shut up, or McDaniels is like, he got this. Mm-hmm. Aaron, different. It's just
you would hope, right?
It would just be different.
Yeah.
It'd just be different. I've been around athletes, right? And there are some of them that it just feels different. The room feels different when they walk in. Immediately, it's just different. Like, before they even say a word, it's just different. So, I definitely don't see them bumping heads to that degree. I think they will, but it's actually healthy. It's actually healthy to bump heads like that. But at the end of the day, I think that McDaniels would have valued a lot of things that Aaron Rodgers had to say, especially if he was to connect back with Devontae. You can't ignore that success and try to find ways to use that in your scheme. You just can't ignore that. It's about winning.
Yeah. And Terrence, I agree with you, and I know you've heard me say this before, and I'm gonna say it again. I think the whole reason I think the whole reason why Hoyer is here is because he is the encyclopedia for, you know what I'm saying, for Jimmy G.
For the rookie.
I know that too, but also Hoyer knows this offense even more than Jimmy. So if there's a situation where Jimmy needs, what's the answer to number 6? Like, Hoyer's able to have that conversation with him.
Sure.
And that also, listen to this, that also frees up McDaniels to be able to be a head coach instead of always having to be the offensive coordinator. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was the issue that we had last year, where McDaniels was doing way too much. You know what I'm saying? So if Hoyer can help, you know what I'm saying, be that sounding board for Jimmy G when he gets stuck, and also answer Aiden O'Connell's question, then that also frees up McDaniels to go, you know what I'm saying, do head coach stuff, which means oversee. And also, my issue on game time was his management of the clock. He should have been overseeing that a little bit better than he did. And that's just my opinion. So if that frees him up to be able to do those things because Hoyer's there, again, I guess that's why Hoyer is here.
Mm-hmm. I think Hoyer, who benefits more off Hoyer being here, is the rookie, because he's going to be on the sideline right next to him, talking about each and every situation. They're in the quarterback with each and every situation. Jimmy G has got to handle a lot of these things on his own, and there will be some suggestions from Hoyer, you know what I mean? But as far as approach to the game, the system, and everything like that, Hoyer has more time with the rookie than he will have time with Jimmy G, because Jimmy G has to spend a lot more time with the number ones and the head coach. And butting heads from a football player today would have been fine, but Rodgers has a history of being. Yeah. I don't think that they wouldn't butt heads. I just think that it would be a healthy type of butting heads. It'd be in competition. Like, I checked down to this because I saw this. They did this in the first quarter. When I saw that, that's why I checked down to that. Blah 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 blah. I don't think it'll be a situation where, like, the last quarterback and there's different interpretations about if the Raiders asked him not to be in the building, or he decided not to be in the building to be a distraction. There's a couple of different stories there, but I don't. It would be in competition, and I don't think Aaron Rodgers would check out.
Yeah,
completely check out from the team because of it. We saw last year when the way the team was ran, when it came to accountability and everybody was on the same level, even the water boys were being held accountable. And some players didn't like that, including, from reports, the quarterback. So, and we saw the checkout. We saw him check out. You know what I mean? I don't hear nobody say there's no way in hell we should have lost to Pittsburgh. But anyway, I digress.
No, I agree with you. I think last year we were a hotel because there was a lot of people that checked out, and that was just the reality of it, of where I'm saying, as much as people were saying that McDaniels didn't lose the locker room, I think to some extent some of those players, they were just going through the motions, and we got what we got. And with the Aaron Rodgers situation, I think also with that, I think it would have been very entertaining to have Rodgers here, because some of the stuff, where they do butt heads or whatever, like I think Aaron Rodgers wouldn't hold back. You know what I'm saying?
We hold Rich Gannon to the highest regard for being a person that would stand up to Gruden and say, "Hey, no, this we need to do this."
Yeah, so
I think it'd have been somewhat of the same dynamic.
Yeah, I think that definitely we would have saw some heads moving on the 3rd and 20 or whatever the situation is, and definitely in the press conference, Aaron Rodgers probably would have dropped.
And to be honest, I want to see that. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see you sitting by yourself on the bench like this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see that anymore. If things are not going right, I want to see you talking to the coach. I want to see you talking to the coordinator, offensive coordinator. You know what I mean? Maybe the camera just caught way more the former quarterback sitting, chilling by himself. Yeah. And not engaged on the sideline as much as maybe I think it would. It should have been.
And you know what? And to be honest with you, I'm glad you said that, because we don't see everything. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're watching TV. You know what I'm saying? You don't see. You know what I'm saying? He might have been. I'm not. I know he doesn't. DC doesn't cuss, but he might have been on the way walking to the sideline. You know what I'm saying? He might have been giving him the business, and by the time he got to the sideline, his conversation, he's like, "Hey, are you finished or are you done?" And then he sat down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that might have really been the situation. But
man, I don't think so, man. And you know what, man? Because there's only been one time I've seen Derek Carr that I've seen, not to say that it hasn't happened another time, but I think that part when he's like, "I'm sick of being disrespected." That was probably the most toughest thing I've heard come out of his mouth. And he still didn't do much about it. He put up some numbers, but they were empty.
But I will say this though, I saw him, and this wasn't McDaniels, but I saw DC get on Gruden a few times. You know what I'm saying? Like I saw a few times where he was, not necessarily. Obviously, we know he don't cuss, but it was a heated discussion on whatever they were whatever was going on. So I don't know if it was just he had a rapport with Gruden. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that comfortability. You know what I'm saying? Because like for an example, if I'm really comfortable with you, you know what I'm saying, I might be able to have a real heated conversation with you. But if I really don't know you like that. You know what I'm saying?
Then it's a whole different,
Or if I'm already, like you said, if this is hotel Raiders and I've already checked out, then there's really no need for me to.
There's no talking.
Blood boiling. Yeah, there's really no need to talk. Because you already know what time I'm on. You know what I'm saying? At this point. So and again, we're talking hypothetical, so it's not like we know exactly what's going on.
It is hypothetical, but we are working with the facts.
Yeah,
let's get that straight. We're working with the facts, and
we're shaping it around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and trying to make sense. Oh, Fredo thought that was my hair. He said, "Dog, that was a wig."
and we hope that's we somewhere in the ballpark. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, but nah, so since we brought that up, and I want to bring this up on Dirty Show. He asked me, what are some things that are concerning, or some things that I'm not so sure of. And one of the things, Jazzy Jeff, oh shoot, I do look like Jazzy Jeff a little bit. And then when I do this, I look like Damian Lillard a little bit. Earlier I did. This is the wrong lighting. But anyway, but I do like Jazzy Jeff. He got me on that one. Damn it, T. But I am really interested to see how this team, how their personality on the field comes out. They had Preacher Man in there, and I'm gonna stand on this. What I said about this, I believe that sometimes he walks in the room and just deflates a lot of conversations that's happening because everybody, hold on. Tell me about old girl later, or certain conversations that they won't have in front of them. I think that there isn't that element of that polarizing of how beliefs can be polarizing. Religious beliefs can be polarizing. I don't think that element is there anymore. And kind of like, it's a funny analogy, but kind of like when when the Warriors let go of Mark Jackson, the Warriors played more free, especially offensively and whatnot. And for those that don't know, Mark Jackson used to have sermons after games. Because of the belief system, homosexuality was a thing that was brought up. He was bringing up the team president, I believe, either Gruber. I believe he's homosexual, and one of the other executive sons homosexual. And it's probably more, but he ran that team Cohen's and connection and what's what Russell Red and Jelly Roll in conjunction. I had to say that line. So I get that in conjunction. So he ran the team in conjunction with his religious beliefs. And not to say it couldn't, I don't know if it could work or if it couldn't have worked, but once they got Steve Kerr in there, it was a different thing.
Yeah.
The whole aura locker room was different. Just everything was different.
They all and I'll say this too, because again I am in the Bay and of course I always hear Warrior news and stuff like that. A lot of the players that were on there were of faith, but it was just, you know, Mark Jackson was like on steroids, you know what I'm saying, when it came to, you know what I'm saying, what he was expecting for them to do with their faith. And that just was, it was just, again, it could be too much. And I don't know DC. I don't know, you know what I'm saying, how much
input he had into it. Yeah.
He was doing faith wise or whatever, but I know that, I guess
but you probably don't have to even do. You just live your life a certain way, and people just be like, "Oh, here come Red." Like, you ever been having a conversation, and a certain person walks in the room?
I get that.
Changes it.
I get that. You know what I'm saying, and that's not necessarily out of hatred. It's more out of like respect for whoever that person is. It's like, okay, I know. Hey, look. You know what I'm saying? He ain't about that. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna do that around.
Yeah. We're not gonna party. We don't hang out a lot.
Yeah.
You know, because I like to do certain. My lifestyle is like this. Your lifestyle like that. We work together. We cool on that level. But I think what happens is the disconnect of going the extra mile happens. At that point, like,
because also I'll say this, I don't think there's been a report, and correct me, but I haven't heard a report where a player didn't like DC.
Yeah, everybody would say he's a good person.
Yeah,
but you don't hear stories like man. You know, let me tell you a funny DC story. Let me, oh man, that's my. Nobody be like, that's my dog. Like even Tay, like you just he's cool. Like, you know what I mean. You go to work, he's the guy that's cool at work, but nobody invites him to happy hour. Because you know he's not coming, or if he do, you're not going to be having the same kind of time you would normally have, because you're not going to say the same jokes. You're not going to, you know what I mean? You're not going to talk about the same things. Yeah. So it becomes awkward. We got our cool square partner up here coming through. Y'all be cool, let's not be talking, we already know where he stand. So yeah, they say he's cool. Nobody's gonna say he's a bad person, but you just don't hear the affection.
Yeah,
and I haven't heard everybody's statements, so I could be wrong, but it's definitely not definitely not common.
And you know what, to tell you the truth, I don't think it's gonna. I don't think much of it's gonna come out, because and I was actually gonna do a video on that about the whole like the whole DC situation when they were talking about his wife crying or whatever. And I know that a lot of people were like, "Oh, DC's wife is crying. Who gives a da?"
About what?
I get so to my.
If you're gonna talk about it on the show, don't. Spoiler. We'll talk. Hit me on the DM. We'll talk about it then. Save it for the show.
No. It's all good. I'm not. I'm just going whatever. So to my understanding, DC was asked a question at the Saints Saints press conference, kind of about the Raiders, you know what I'm saying? And he talked about how, at the end of this situation, his wife felt some type of way about his benching, you know what I'm saying? And that led her to be emotional about the situation. And, some fans and some people were like, they have their views about that. And it's like, there's certain things that, reporters, especially at this time, they're going to ask questions about your old team. And they may not necessarily say the Raiders, but they're alluding to your previous team. And when that microphone's in front of you and they're asking you that question, the way you answer it or how you answer it is always going to be scrutinized. So I think DC is running into a situation where maybe he even wants to move on from, talking about the Raiders, but these reporters and everybody else is still, because they know that's still a hot bubbling topic. Anytime a reporter talks about DC, all the Raider, haters or Raider fans are digging it up. So
you know why? You know why? It's his brother's fault. It's their fault because they're on the media side, right? So they can throw stones and nobody's going to really challenge their position and their opinion about the organization. So they got to go to DC with these questions. Do you feel this way too? Your brother said this, but that's a colleague or whatever. So we're not going to, are they going to interview David? No. And Darren? No. They're not going to put them on the spot about what they said. They're going to go to DC.
Yeah.
But now, does she cry because of the benching?
That was what was. I don't want to say it was specifically the benching, but it was surrounded around. It was around that time, and it was around that type of situation. And again, you have and I don't know I don't know specifically, again, what she was going through, but her husband was drafted by the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? She probably was really attached to the Raiders. Her family, the family itself has Raider ties. Remember I believe it was her dad. I think DC's dad was actually a Raider fan. And I believe there was actually a relative who actually played for the Raiders in some capacity. So there's ties there. You know what I'm saying? So you have emotional ties. You have, you know what I'm saying? We were here, they brought us to Oakland, and you know what I'm saying, we thought we were going to plant roots in Vegas, and you know what I'm saying, there's a lot of things that
I see something completely different. Okay. That I thought that was a dynamic in that household.
So again, like you have all of that, and then again, there could be other things involved with that. So to really scrutinize him for saying, hey, my wife was emotional. You don't think DC was emotional too when you know what I'm saying, you're telling him his season got cut short, and you know what I'm saying, of course his play didn't help the situation, but he's a competitor at the same time. So
they can all learn something. They can all learn something from my now 12-year-old son that was 11 at the time. And I'm dead serious about this. You are not entitled to the outcomes you want. You have to work for them and maintain them. This is the example I'm talking about. Game 1, my youngest son didn't play much at all. He was in tears, but he was not in tears of poor me. He was pissed off because he didn't play much. And what he said to me, he said, I can't wait for practice Monday. He said, I cannot wait for practice Monday. I said, all right, son, That's the attitude I want to see. And from that point on, he balled out, was the defensive player of the year for his team. He did not say, poor me, they not playing me. He said, I can't wait for practice Monday. I can't wait for practice Monday. And let me make this even more clear why I even frame it that way. Derek Carr has been a quarterback his whole life, right? He's been specially treated his whole football life, from wearing a red jersey, don't touch me in practice, automatically a captain. My brother played in NFL. I got all this football royalty around me, right? I didn't have to get it the hard way. I didn't have to make my own reputation. The reputation preceded me. So he has been given. Now, that doesn't mean that he didn't earn it after he was put in position, but he didn't earn his reputation on his own. The reputation preceded him with his family name. So he get benched, she cry, he's emotional. Go out there and kick some ass. Mm-hmm. There's no crying in baseball.
and like Circus says,
that's a character. That's what I'm saying. That's a character. That is a leadership characteristic flaw. Mm. If the chips are down, you gonna start crying in this game?
Yeah.
Cry losing the Super Bowl. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. No, and everybody's entitled to their opinion, and that
doesn't mean I'm right. I'm just saying.
I agree with what he says and I think a lot of people need to take this perspective. Just because his wife was crying, that's not him. You know what I'm saying? So don't scrutinize him.
They pillow talk.
Yeah, of course there's pillow talk, but don't
She was raised in football.
Don't scrutinize her.
Let's go back to the same movie. And remember when Quay Cameron, he was talking about quitting? She says, "You're the captain of the football team. You're not going to let that kid take your spot." She was harder than him. And he was trying to tell her his body's not right and this and that. And she got on his neck. She slapped him. "I do not want to hear this from you." She slapped him. Remember that part in the movie?
Yeah.
You got a wife that's gonna that's gonna be strong when you're not, and then he got a wife that's gonna cry when when he's in the face of adversity. You know what I mean? Like, man.
Because and like you said, the pillow talk is there. You know what I'm saying? And
she knows how he feels.
And it should be there. You know what I'm saying? If I'm having a, you know what I'm saying? When I go home from a hard day of work, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna lay up to my wife and tell her what the hell's going on. You know what I'm saying? And she's gonna hold it in,
internalize it,
and internalize it and everything else. So when things happen, you know what I'm saying? And maybe I have to be presidential, or maybe I have to be professional, or whatever word you want to use in that situation. That doesn't excuse the emotion that she has about the burdens that I put on her. You know what I'm saying? Not on her, but, you know, hey, babe, this is what happened today at work, or, you know what I'm saying, it didn't go too well today at work, or
I got benched today. Probably one of so many few times you've ever been benched.
Yeah.
And she's weeping. Mm-hmm. Weep. I'm gonna use the word weep. You're weeping. Like, he's benched for a game. And then things ultimately turn that way. But what are we talking? That's the time. That's the time to reflect and then get better. Like, you're crying like it was like a funeral, right? I didn't even see the footage. Crying over a benching?
What does NFL stand for?
Not for long.
So that again, you're getting benched. You know what I'm saying? And that benching could possibly be
the best thing that could have happened to you.
Well, in his situation, I think it was the best situation for him because I think he actually going to the Saints in the way that's set up over there. I think he's in a lovely situation. But what I'm trying to say is that initial I got benched, that could have been I just took my last snap in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So that emotion of
if he thinks that, he doesn't.
Well, I'm talking about the wife.
No, you don't know that. I'm just saying if that's the way he thought, he don't think highly of himself in general.
No, I don't think that was it for DC, like in his self. But
that's what she was thinking.
The way the wife was feeling was maybe, hey, this might be it. Even though you know she may be the cheerleader for him, is like, hey babe, you know what I'm saying, do your thing. But she also realizes that, you know, when you get benched like that, that could be it for you. You know what I'm saying? So
man, if that's the way she felt, she don't know. She's been around this game so long, and she still don't know what she's looking at then, because
all she knows is the Raiders.
There's let's see, we got 32 teams, and let's just say a minimum 3 quarterbacks per team, right? So that's 90 spots. He's going to be able to be in the NFL. Girl, relax. Relax.
But that's on the back end. Like that thought, like you have to come to a realization that flip, that light switch has to flip from, you know what I'm saying? Like, for an example, if you get fired from your job, right? Just all of a sudden.
Okay, that's a good point. All eyes on G's point, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You get fired from your job.
He didn't get fired. They just told him, take a day off. He said, take a day off. But you also can't perform at your job like that and just expect to just nothing to happen either.
Of course. Like I said, and I support DC, but I also realize that he didn't do any. You know what I'm saying? He didn't help the situation. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be honest with that. I think he didn't help the situation either. So
one of Ray Lewis's best quotes: "You got to be pissed off of greatness."
I think both parties were at fault. You know what I'm saying when it comes to this situation.
Sure. You know yeah. Sure. Sure. But my sons, like, that's what other people do is they know that's not in their control. What they do is in their control. How they respond and it is in their control. React, everything like that. That's in your control. You know. So like that's why I told that story, because he could have that game could have broken him, and he probably said, I don't want to play football no more. Mm-hmm. And this is his. I didn't like. Maybe I did instill this in him. I don't know when, but this was all him. He said, I can't wait till practice Monday.
Because he knew he had a practice to go to.
No. He said, well, his point was, I know I'm better than who's out there right now. And you got me fucked up.
No,
starting Monday, I am going to wreck shop. He started every since then.
Yeah.
Like you said, DC probably could have fixed that. Or he could have been the start of fixing that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Because it wasn't like McDaniels didn't like him from the jump. McDaniels was one of his biggest supporters when he was coming. He felt like he can work with Derek and everything. So, all right, Tom Brady. You know what Tom Brady would have done in that situation? He would have went in the locker room, hit his head and smashed his head on the lockers. Because I heard Tom Brady's crazy. I heard he's crazy. Like so. However DC responded to those moments, because I actually truly don't think it was dead in the water until they just decided to both give up on each other. I think DC is ready to go. I don't think DC likes that style of coaching. He prefers the style that Gruden did and others did with him, which was pull him to the side and humbly criticize him. Well, coach him up. He's not used to being criticized in front of people like that. Like the way I heard McDaniels was. McDaniels is tough all across the board. But I forget whose article that was, but Gruden and DC used to go to lunch and stuff like that. And that's where they would talk about that kind of stuff, like in private and stuff like that. And DC. And so everybody, like imagine you a player. Gruden just got done cussing you out, right? All right. So now y'all break in from practice or whatever. And then you see DC and John Gruden in a golf cart pulling off together, talking or whatever. You never see your quarterback get cussed out much at all, maybe a little bit yelled at, but he doesn't get it like we do. And then your quarterback goes to the press conference with these vanilla, answers, it's on me. Well, what exactly is on you? I've been waiting for somebody from media to say that. What exactly do you feel a part of this game was on you? I never hear that come back. That doesn't mean that I've heard every press conference and anything like that. But again, like by now, somebody should have said, "Well, what is on you?"
You know why he does that?
But remember when he first came in the league, he used to break stuff down. That was the first thing that impressed me about Derek Carr. I was like, I learned something. He used to get specific. And then years gone by, it was just like, it's on me.
He never wanted to point fingers.
But if you're gonna point a finger at yourself, then what are you talking about? What exactly?
Yeah, no, I get that. Like that's I mean, I would love to hear that too. But it would come down to, what I'm saying, pointing fingers. Because we know that everything, if we're really honest with just quarterback play in general, everything doesn't start and end with the quarterback. There's other factors that play a key part in the success of getting 6 and 7 points in the game.
Yeah,
you know
the thing is, he controls the time. Like the balls, the clock, right? Time of possession, which affects everything. It affected the defense. The defense was getting off the field early in games. It's holding teams to 6 or less for weeks. And second half, between probably coaching and between players not executing, like that affected the defense. That part of the complementary football, I felt affected the defense. 1, 2, 3 and outs, 3 and outs, 3 and outs, 3 and outs. Like, your defense is already vulnerable.
Yeah. And
so now the other teams have made their adjustment, pull back in, and then now Derek Carr gets another comeback victory. And everybody talks and shits on the defense. Forgot about them how hard how they was kicking ass the first half, and the offense was clicking, and then goes. Now, yeah, could that be some parts of McDaniels? Could be, and I'm gonna be consistent, like what I said on Dirty Show, which is, I have to see. I don't know how much of it was play calling and how much of it was execution. We would have to see every play. Like, I am that meticulous. If you're going to make a statement and say McDaniels, his decisions is like this, well, let's look at those decisions and see if it was the decision mainly or was it execution. Because there's no secret. We know it was a lot of players. It was a lot of wide open guys that just weren't. I digress on that one. No. But that's what I'll be needing for me to like actually label anything on somebody. Like, I need like the full details. So
I back to what you were saying about the coaching. I think and me as a coach, not saying it a football coach, but I did do some rec league stuff. But I couldn't coach every kid the same way.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because every kid,
auditory learners. What's the different learning methods?
Yeah, auditory, visual, audio.
Yeah.
So I couldn't coach every kid the same way, and because of that, I had to I had every kid. I had to figure out what the way each kid
makes them tick.
And I think with Gruden, and even like I heard reports on Bisaccia, you know what I'm saying? Like Bisaccia was it's funny because the two things they said about Bisaccia were the opposites. They said that he was the most loving and concerned coach, but he also was the biggest cusser on the field. You know what I'm saying? And they said he was the most loving, but when he cussed, we knew where it was coming from. You know what I'm saying? And it was coming out of the love. You know what I'm saying? So that him cussing at them and what the hell and blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? On the practice field, the players, they took that because they knew where the source of that was coming from. You know what I'm saying? So I am I going to give McDaniels the pass because he tries to treat everybody the same way, or
is it treating? I don't think it's treating everybody the same way. I just think it's the same accountability. You know what I mean? Like, I expect you to do your job this way because you expect yourself to do this job that way. You told me this probably. We sit and have discussions. You want to be successful. You want to be the best at what you do. You want Super Bowls. You want this, that, and the third, right? So there is a baseline to start from. You know what I mean? There is a baseline to start from, and then with that, you could work with the players personally to get them to perform at that baseline. And once they start holding themselves accountable even more, that's less McDaniels has to say. My fault. You know what I mean? My bad. I was supposed to do this and this. That was on me, right? Specifically. Versus like, matter of fact, I think it's probably more chaotic to have different standards for everybody. I think you can coach people. I think you can coach people different, but you can't have different standards, right?
It really can be.
Dennis Rodman is not in. That was crazy what we heard about Dennis Rodman. Like they literally flew to Vegas, just got his drunk ass up to go play a basketball game, and he still go bust for like I don't know 20-something rebounds, something like that. Crazy about that story. But I think you can have a standard that's for everybody, and then you can individually get people to that standard.
Yeah. And that's where I feel like as a head coach, I think that's where you make your big money, is knowing, trying to figure out how each player ticks, you know what I'm saying, and functioning with that. But also, like we were saying, it could be dangerous, because if I see, you know what I'm saying, it looks like the coach is loving on Tony, but you know what I'm saying, he giving me the business. You know what I'm saying?
You know why? Find out why. Come holler at me like, hey, coach be killing me. And a player like me gonna be honest. I'm like, dude, like you walk too much. You know what I mean? Like, because really, a coach, you know what? Little things annoy a coach, and it builds up to the point where it looks like they don't just like you in general, but they've been watching you. They've been watching you when you don't even know it. And it's like, man, this dude walk everywhere. He walked to the meetings. He walked to the water cooler. He walked back to the huddle. He walked like I don't know. There's like these things. They don't be personally like, man, I just don't like nothing about his existence. You know what I mean? Hey, all eyes on G. Players been getting yelled at their whole lives.
Mm-hmm.
My son been getting both my sons been getting yelled at. First by me, first by me. And when they started playing ball, coaches yell like you know, they're used to that. They're more used to that than you think.
I think they all yell, but I think there's a level of it that you know what I'm saying. I feel like
sure,
you know, coaching in the 90s is different from what kind of coaching is now. Like even with the yelling part of it, because I remember some of the ones I used to get when I was a kid, you know what I'm saying? And I'm
there was some name calling in those things. There was some name calling.
Yeah.
There was a name calling.
Yeah, I don't think y'all would get away with that now, but like, yeah,
but
I think yelling would still
will the F word come out? Yes. About how you playing? Yes. Will a coach say you've been playing like shit? Yes. Will, you know what I mean? Like now, will they like disrespect you? Like they like it used to be back in the day? No. But they will use it, so it won't be a noun. The yelling won't have cuss words that will call you by a noun. Mm-hmm. It will just be an adjective. It will just describe what you putting out on the field. But they're used to it.
And I've had some coaches, you know what I'm saying, and I'm not going to say any names because that's incriminating, but I've had some coaches was like, look, if I can't hold your child accountable, you know what I'm saying, and you got an issue with me holding your child accountable, then
can't work with them. Can't play with them.
I can't
coach with them.
I can't. Or, you know what I'm saying,
the world don't care. The world don't care.
Where there's certain, you know, especially with a lot of these traveling leagues and stuff like that, some of these coaches like, okay, you paid the money, but you realize that your kid is just out there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Good. Like they kind of pushed them to the side and said, okay, I'm gonna work with the kids that I can actually work with, and just let this person go through the motions. I've had, you know, even as a coach, I've had parents come up to me and was like, you know, I don't appreciate you making my kid run extra laps. Well, that's the standard.
You didn't make them do much before you gave them to me.
Exactly. They were out of shape when they came here. But at the end of the season, you seen our team was running and they wasn't gassed.
Right.
Everybody else in the league was gassed.
Right. Because if I put your son out there and he start getting his ass busted, you're gonna say I'm not coaching him good.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just certain things like that. It's like, okay, if I can't coach your kid, then yeah, you might either get pushed to the
And
side
I'm
or
not just coaching him this game. I'm setting him up for life. Nobody cares about your excuse. No matter how good it is. Nobody cares. Like in the real world, it's about results. You would hope to get within some kind of organization, whatever. Hopefully that's more, but even still, there comes a point where the results matter.
Mm-hmm.
The results matter. Truth matters. And look, if I can't get what I'm trying to prepare you, not just for because if you want to play this game and keep going up levels, your mentality has to be on a level how I'm trying to give it to you. And you can take this and also apply it to real world.
And these players play and it goes the other way too. Like you said, the results have to be there. Like if you're telling me to bust my butt and you're telling me to do all these extra up downs and you're telling me all this and I'm not seeing the results on the field as a player, what do you think I'm gonna come in there and give my 100%?
It depends. If other players around you are what's the word I'm looking for? If they're doing their thing and looking great, I need to figure out what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like, so I threw both my sons to the wolves. Their first ever season of playing tackle football, I put them on one of the best youth league teams in the state of Nevada.
Okay.
I didn't take them to the weak team so they can get some time, some playing time and whatnot, just to see them have fun. I threw them to the wolves, and they came back like Leonidas wearing the fur. You know what I mean? Like you're either gonna shit or what? Chat, get off the what?
Yeah.
It can't be on you. It's got to be in you. It can't be on you. Yeah, that's my name on the back of this jersey. My last name on the back of this jersey. But it's in me, and it's in them because I seen it blossom. Like, and it's like it was almost like I didn't even know who these kids were. I'm like, I didn't even know I was that good of a parent. It was like crazy. Like, but serious though, I didn't put them. I could have put them on a weak team just because and that would have showed me that I didn't believe in much in them. Because I was like, if I put them on a weak team, they'll get to play more. No, go out there. You're gonna play with some of the best kids in the city, in the state. And we gonna see what's up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, competition breeds, you know what I'm saying? Breeds competition, and you'll get better. Iron sharpens iron, you know what I'm saying? Like you'll get better if you get around, better talent. And
because you can act a fool in class with the class clown.
Mm-hmm.
If you can do that, if you're playing with the best, man, I need to get better.
And iron sharpens iron.
Tomorrow.
Iron sharpens iron, good or bad. Yeah. I hate to say it like that, but we always talk about the good sharpening iron, but your iron can get sharpened with some bad things if you're around bad people. You know what I'm saying? You may not. I said it earlier today. You know what I'm saying? You may not indulge in it. You know what I'm saying? The first time, but if you keep hanging around a bunch of drunks, I guarantee you there's gonna be a point where you are going to end up picking up that bottle. You know what I'm saying? So it really can go either way, and just that's why you want to put
and my oldest Yeah, and I want to say this about my oldest. Like his learning curve was even tougher because he played the last age group that you can play for his first year with one of the best teams in the state.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean? This year at his high school, starting corner, tearing him up. He's got a work habit and an ethic already. They both do have a work habit and a work ethic that they're used to, and they've been responding to since day one, and that's been on the best level possible. So, well, we're going back to the original discussion with how to respond to situations like that. I'm not sure either side did the right thing, but I know, well, whatever was in Carr's control, I just truly believe that he could have turned that around and still been the quarterback here today if he really wanted to do that here.
Mm.
But this type of coaching ain't for him.
Mm-hmm. I think not only the coaching, but I think the system just didn't work for him.
I think the system would do just fine. Ask Tom Brady. So? Ask Tom Brady.
Okay.
The system is just fine, but he don't want to be he don't want to be treated like everybody else. It just showed.
Yeah.
It showed. Like at the end of the day, he didn't want to be treated like everybody else. Because everybody else was like Tay was saying from day one, he likes this race. He likes his coaching staff. He loves his coaches. You know what I mean? Like Tay is from the Bay. First of all, he cut from a different cloth anyway. He's cut from a different cloth anyway. Okay, so he's a person that had to make his reputation. Other players had to make their reputation. DC came in God mode. He came in with the reputation already set before him.
Yeah.
Don't tackle me in practice. Automatic captain. Don't got to be voted to be captain. You're automatic. You're given leadership. A leadership role. That stuff is that characteristics is starting to catch up. It's starting to catch up.
Now I'll ask you this. You know what I'm saying? Is that by default? Because to my understanding, you know what I'm saying, and in most cases, the quarterback of the team usually is a captain.
By default. But that don't mean that don't always mean the players on the team love him like that. You're not Kobe. They don't love you like that. Remember Draymond said, you know what I mean? Like it's just automatic. Mm-hmm. But the quarterback doesn't have to be voted to be a captain and have a leadership role.
Yeah.
So imagine that. Given leadership roles, having a reputation precede you. So have a reputation precede you where opportunities, you don't have to earn them the same way other people did. And coming into every situation, that reputation has allowed you to be coached a certain kind of way. Even as hard as Gruden can be, Gruden pulled him to the side and didn't coach him hard in front of people, from what reports said. Mm-hmm. Here comes McDaniels. Everybody, even the water boy, got to be on their game. Got to be on their A game. Consistent. blah 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 blah, this, that, and third. He was like, and that he didn't like it. Didn't resonate with him. It didn't. It was like I think he's too hard. I think was that even a quote? I think he's being too hard. Because I believe it was the quote when they lost the Kansas City game, the first game, when it was close, that close game.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it was detailed like Carr and the guys felt good about the way they played as if they won the game. And McDaniel was like, we need to play like that all the time, but we didn't win shit. Like, what are you happy about? Like, I believe that was how the conversation was going. Yeah. And Carl was like, damn, like, we played a great game. Yeah, we lost, but we played a great game by one. And we lost. I think they lost. It was 30-29. Somebody could pull that up, man, so we could be on point. But when we played KC tough, Carl was very happy about how they played. And McDaniel was like, we lost. And this and that and the third. And I think that was the first part of the split between, how Carr felt about McDaniels, is because he wasn't all happy and smiles and looking at the positives. He was looking at the L.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that because when I read that, I was like, yeah, McDaniels is right. What is Carr talking about? Look at the positives. The hell? It's wins and losses. It's wins and losses. And if Carr had that mentality, like, and people are saying, we played a really good game. We were really close. We're getting better. And if Carr was like, we lost, dog. That's all I'm thinking about. Like, all that matters is winning. He would have got the fan base like, hell yeah. That's Mamba mentality, not whatever the hell he was talking. The other stuff he's talking about, that's Mamba mentality. But he was proud of the way they played. McDaniels was mad at the L. Two different perspectives on what matters in this game.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and that goes to, what I'm saying, what Alfredo was saying. He's like, I think McDaniels and Gruden were just, complete opposites. That perspective, just like Tony was saying, what I'm saying, like having the gray area or having the, the moral victories, what I'm saying, it was allowed for one and may not necessarily be allowed for the other. You know what I'm saying?
McDaniels don't know nothing about a moral victory.
So, but I again, just moving off from that completely. I think moving forward, I think that I think we'll be better. I think we will be better just for those reasons of having, what I'm saying, Jimmy G here and this young defense that sounds like it's coming together. You know what I'm saying? And pieces are coming together and gelling, and
mm-hmm.
certain guys are surprising us. You know what I'm saying? It already. I'm not saying they've exceeded our expectation, but some of the guys, we thought that they were going to do this, and now, hey, they might necessarily be. I didn't think Jacorian Bennett would be, a real major factor. I thought he would play a role, but it sounds like he's trying to carve out a major role for himself. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So again, that would exceed, you know what I'm saying, our initial expectations. Yeah. And even Tucker, I think Tucker is also another guy that's mm-hmm. a step in training camp. So
definitely.
We'll see.
And these and like, you know, I said in Dirty Show, you know, what I thought about the players coming in. I never had the idea. This regime never gave me the idea that it was going to be splashy. It's going to get splashy names, right? It was all about the fit, right? So, right, those guys are looking good in the system, right? But they may not look great at all in any other system or in other responsibilities other than what they're good at, right? So, oh yeah, I was gonna get and I hear you, I hear you, G.com. But at the same time, Carr's not in the position at all to look at McDaniels like he don't know what he's talking about, because McDaniels has been a part of a winning organization at the highest level multiple times. Like, Carr has won nothing. And when they had when that conversation happened, you could tell who's won things and who didn't. One person was happy about the way they played, and one person was thinking about the loss.
Yeah.
The person who's thinking about the loss has won things. The person who was just happy to be competitive never won nothing. Yeah. They never won nothing. So, like, cool if Carr had that opinion, but you know, I guarantee if Carr would have embraced that mentality on that day, and people was like, man, we on our way. We played Kansas City tough. Like, we had them beat. We played great. If Carr had been like, yeah, but we didn't play good enough to win, and it's about wins. I'm telling you right now, that maybe even that a statement like that would have had the team like, I'm rocking with him. That wasn't good enough to him. But it didn't. Playing well and competing that well was good enough for him to be happy. Mm-hmm. And wondering what's wrong with the coach. And the coach is like, we lost.
Yeah. I wanted to get to see you, Milk. Byron Young. To be honest with you, Byron Young, when I didn't know, I really don't follow too much college. You know what I'm saying? So when we draft guys, or when we start doing the mock drafts and stuff like that, that's when I start really looking at certain players and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So that's when I kind of got introduced to Byron Young. And when I started looking at his tape, I was really encouraged, you know what I'm saying, in the player that he is. So hopefully, you know what I'm saying, you know, he can be healthy and stay healthy, because he definitely has a chance of solidifying.
What was his wingspan? It's something crazy. Like, his wingspan is something crazy, like bigger than LeBron's wingspan.
But to tell you the truth, man, to be honest with you, everybody on our line, not everybody on our line, but a good majority of everybody on our line, they all have like long arms. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Chandler Jones has long arms. Max Crosby has long arms. You know what I'm saying? Byron Young has long arms. Tyree Wilson has long arms. Like, when they talk about, oh, this person is measurables and stuff like that, like those guys specifically, they have long arms. So there was something that Ziegler and those guys, I don't know specifically who it was, but you know what I'm saying? Obviously, Ziegler is one getting the groceries, but there's a specific look that they're looking for when it comes to the D linemen, and I think one of them is actually their arm length is
excellent,
a tell factor.
Excellent point. And I don't know if other teams are building their defensive lines like this. Hopefully not, just so I can throw it in the faces of people who was down on this regime. Not down on it, like, there's, I'm talking about like to an excessive level, right? But if they are innovative in this, and if we end up being like the longest. If we end up having the longest arm D-line team and everybody's Dikembe Mutombo and everything at the line, like, or getting a hold of people, oh man.
And I think you got it right with the Dikembe Mutombo, because to be honest with you, the other factor is a lot of these guys have height on them. You know what I'm saying? I think the shortest person may be Chandler Jones, but again, we know that Chandler Jones was kind of like
he may look taller because he lost weight. He said, "I'm in the best shape of my life right now."
Like, you have Max Crosby, and obviously, he's tall. Tyree Wilson, he's tall and long. You know what I'm saying? I forgot who we had in the middle. The person that in the middle also, like, Tillery's like, you know what I'm saying? He's a taller defensive tackle. So they're looking for that. I think they're also trying to maximize on, like, because I've seen plays where the D line doesn't necessarily, you know what I'm saying, fully get to the quarterback, but those D ends, they collapse, you know what I'm saying, they concave, and that quarterback steps in, and that D tackle may not be able to break through, but because their arms are so long, they get a hand on the you know what I'm saying, on the quarterback, and then eventually somebody else finishes it off for them. So, you know what I'm saying, long arms can work for grabbing somebody, but also, like we say all the time, which is the most important one, is, dang, get your hands up. You know what I'm saying? If you can't get there, get your hands up. You might be able to bat the ball down. You might be able to tip it, and hopefully somebody in the secondary can get the free
quarterback's vision and effective vision.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things that long arms and all of that can definitely play a factor in. And I think, again, there's a specific, you know what I'm saying, and I might even do a video on that down the line, but there's a specific grocery that it seems like Ziegler wants to pick up, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to our D line.
So 138, almost at the 2-hour mark. So we got a long arm, tall defensive line, and now we got some mean ass defensive backs. Mean, tough, physical, and fast. And all I've heard through camp was, it's about getting these turnovers. We're trying to get turnovers.
I'm glad that this secondary is getting that mindset of being opportunistic when it comes to, hey, the ball's in the air, go get it. You know what I'm saying? And there was a point, and I said it about Amik. You know what I'm saying? Amik was one of those guys that always seemed to be around the ball, always seemed to be active when it comes to the ball being in the air. So we can get a couple of more people, you know what I'm saying, a couple of more people to do that, then, you know, that also goes well. And I think Marcus Peters is going to take lead on that, you know what I'm saying, just because he like they calling him in the locker room, they calling him the OG, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And this, you know why they call him the OG? He is now he's helping the secondary learn the tricks of the trade. Right? Their footwork skills, all that stuff, they're professional now, right? So they just need to know how to use those in a faster game. But they're fast too. But this is, and I spoke about this on Dirty Show right before the show. If people haven't seen Nate Hobbs' comment on what MP is bringing to the locker room and to the secondary room, in the meeting room, is that the wealth of wisdom about this game that he is helping the secondary with and guys with. He's like, this dude has like Nate Hobbs has seen some stuff, right? You know what I mean? He played inside, outside, on the best slot, right. And of course, he's still growing, but he's very impressed with other facets of with the knowledge that MP is bringing. It's as if it's like, oh, I can't wait to use that. I can't wait to use that. And we already know Hobbs is a good corner, a good DB. Let's call him a DB. First of all, he's a great DB. So for him to be impressed with the some of the things that he's bringing, knowledgeable things he's bringing to the game, because I mean, you learn the game and there's nuances, right? And then after that, it's just pretty much execution. You have to execute what you execute as a professional, right? There's only so much to learn, right? You just really start applying things when it's supposed to be applied. So for a lot of that secondary to be impressed with hearing and learning things from learning things that they can use, and to add to their success, I knew he was going to bring a level of toughness, but he was going to teach toughness. You know what I mean? Not be a tough guy, but teach toughness. So the tricks of the trade, they're learning tricks of the trade, things that we used to get flack for because we didn't know how to do it right.
Hey, boo. Hey, boo.
He didn't know that we were getting flagged for stuff. It's like, man, are you stupid? Like, that's obvious. We all see that. You know what I mean? But like, I felt like what Nate Hobbs was getting at was like, man, like this dude, I thought I knew. It was almost like he's saying, I thought I knew a lot. And then he came in and just blew my mind.
Yeah, I Pizzle said it, and All Eyes on G's pretty much said the same thing. Like us being, the bottom on you know what I'm saying, defensively, we really need to change that. We need to change that around, and we can't be 32nd in the league, you know what I'm saying, in turnovers. That just, yeah. Why are we even playing defense? Why do we even have a defense if we ain't, you know what I'm saying, trying to be disruptive? So hopefully we're able to turn that around. I believe in Patrick Graham. I think Patrick Graham can get the job done.
He coached his ass off last year.
I think he can get the job done. I think it's just, again, getting the right pieces in there, and like Afakasi said, and I've been saying it too, is, dang, if we can finally get a defensive tackle, you know what I'm saying, that we can, have a cornerstone of this defense up the middle, you know what I'm saying, somebody step up, and I hopefully, like I said the other day, or I think I said it earlier today, is I hope that it's actually a young defensive tackle so that we can have them for under cheap labor, you know what I'm saying? So we're not paying a whole lot of money for, you know what I'm saying, a defensive tackle. If we can get a young guy that's in there and he's doing his thing, look, that just helps us in longevity have the centerpiece of a solid defense.
Mm-hmm. I'm kind of on the opposite end of that. I don't want this team built and dependent on a player, and the success dependent on a player, because injuries happen, things happen. If that player goes down, then we have to play a whole different way or whatnot, or the impact is just nowhere near what it was like. And we're not flexible in the cap because this person is worth all this money, right? Yeah. I always thought it was a depth issue. We didn't have enough talent in the depth. Guys will stay healthy if we're rotating. There's a better chance of them staying healthy if we're rotating. You know what I mean? Not, you know, I mean, if we find the next phenom, great, right? But I don't think you have to have it to be successful.
No, I
think depth is the biggest thing, especially with more games.
Yeah. And I don't disagree with you. I agree with you on that. What I was trying to say is just hopefully one of these younger defensive tackles.
We hit a home run on. We hit a home run on. Yeah.
I'm not saying he's going to be a Max Crosby, but someone that's willing to say, "Hey, I'm going to, take this spot and you know what I'm saying, and man it up for us." Because again, we have a whole. We have some guys there, but they're all question marks. It's not like, okay, we know Max Crosby's going to be on defensive end number Like, we need to have a guy where we know, or a few guys that we know, okay, when we need to stop the run, we got it.
Yeah, I think we do. I like the rotation. I like having a rotation better than, any given play. This guy can go down, and now we're looking at who? You know what I mean? And the reason why we got him is because that's what we can afford.
And I agree with you, Pizzle. You know what I'm saying? Coming in like a tsunami, but like I would say, coming in waves, you know what I'm saying? Having that rotation. And it's gonna, and I hate to say this because I know a lot of people want to win right now, but it's gonna take time to get that depth, because again, the best way to do it is to build through the draft. So, and the draft only comes around every year. So
I think, to be honest, I really think that I think that depth was an issue. Commitment was an issue.
That was definitely an issue.
Depth was an issue. Commitment was an issue. Like as bad as things be, that we true Raider fans know, like, you know what I mean? Not like the outside people outside looking in, but as bad as it's been, like, we still be finding ourselves in the hunt and don't know how. We be like, how are we still in the hunt? We just was out of it, I think, after that Pittsburgh game. Am I right? Then we were out of it.
Yeah.
And we were wildly inconsistent. We had a stretch where the defense was lights out in first halves. we had all kind of different things happen, and we were still. So we get some depth and consistency and commitment. People gonna be like, man, when was y'all kind of good. And it was like, actually, we screwed ourselves more than we got beat.
And I think that's why I'm also like, when you're talking about depth, I think that was the reason why I was really on our linebackers, because I feel like if one of them got hurt, then what?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where the depth is. You know what I'm saying? When I say then what? Okay, then who else is coming in? And who can we say, yeah, we good? And like I believe it was on Dirty Show today, saying you guys were talking about the cornerbacks, and if Jacorian Bennett, you know what I'm saying, comes up and actually steps up and is a solid, you know what I'm saying, cornerback for us, that leaves Nate Hobbs, you know what I'm saying, as a backup. I like that. That means we got depth there. You know what I'm saying? You're telling me that Marcus Peters, Bennett, and Amik are on the field, and if one of those people go down, that Hobbs is trotting in. Oh, I love that.
They don't even have to even go down. They don't have to go down. We want to put this package out there.
That too. But
you can chill, OG. You can chill. We're gonna throw this package out there, and they are good enough to handle this down.
Yeah.
This situation.
I was just saying that based on kind of what we've been experiencing, you know what I'm saying, with this team, not just with last year, but just previous years of, dang, if one player goes down, dang, Kwiatkowski the other year, went down. It's like, dang, who do we got at linebacker? Okay, so-and-so went down. Dang, who we got? You know what I'm saying? We always run into that. So depth is definitely
because everybody's got injuries. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
everybody. We're not special. We're not specially snake bitten. If anybody could say they're snake bitten, it'd be San Diego. I'll never call them LA. If anything, they may can claim that, but as bad as things have looked, we still find ourselves. We look up on whatever network we watching. Like, hold on, we still mathematically in this.
We're still in this thing.
We're still in this. How?
And every time that happens, like, and this is just me. Every time that happens, I automatically go back to dang. Like, why are we doing this? Like, why didn't we just win that game? And why didn't we just win this game? And then we wouldn't even have to go through the, I hope Pittsburgh loses and Miami wins. And you know what I'm saying? I hate the Niners, but I need them to beat so-and-so. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I hate that we.
It is coming harder and harder to win like 13, 14 games, though.
Oh yeah,
it is becoming harder across the league. Like,
because I think part of that is because the competition has just got so. You know what I'm saying? The quality of players that are coming out is starting to even out. You know what I'm saying? You're starting to see the Detroit Lions, you know what I'm saying, that used to be the laughing stock, now actually become a legit team. You know what I'm saying? You have the Browns that used to be the laughing stock of the NFL and now are somewhat competitive. You know what I'm saying?
Right. We still don't know what they really look like with Deshaun.
Yeah.
I mean, Deshaun, does it?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
They have Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? You're starting to see some of those bottom of the barrel, you know what I'm saying, back in the day teams starting to emerge. And because of that, now the playing field, of course, you're always going to have your upper echelon player teams. But, you know what I'm saying, the I would say the middle class is starting to get a little bigger.
And that may be because there's more talent coming out now. Because, I ain't going to lie, and somebody that's, one of the older folks can probably attest to that, man, the 5th, 6th, and 7th round, down even the 4th, like, there was a time where it was like, you had to go find it in the paper. That wasn't televised. like that shit wasn't televised. You know what I mean? Like, nobody knew. He's like, oh, he got picked up in the 4th round. Oh, he's a 4th, but the first 2 or 3 rounds, that was, he's like, okay, the first 3 picks for this team, they're gonna be solid. Everybody else, I don't know. You typically be like, the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th round, them gonna be all 300 pounders. Yeah, all 300 pounders. So, but nowadays, you can find a gem in the 5th, 6th round. Depending on what position that is.
That is definitely true. That is definitely true. They
got 5 minutes till 2 a.m.
Yeah, I'm about to do some of the closing stuff. Remember, you guys, I really want you guys to be thinking of some questions and ideas. And again, this is how we do it here. You know what I'm saying? Ask Twuan, hashtag Ask Twuan. Any Raider or life-related questions, you put them in the comment section. I read them, and then I'll come back to you guys with a video. I will actually be releasing a video this week from an Ask Twuan that one of the viewers, I ain't going to say their name right now, but I will release their name on the video this week. So look out for the next video of Ask Twuan, but definitely hashtag Ask Twuan when you put your question out there in the comment section, and yeah, I'll do a video. And don't be afraid, you know what I'm saying, whether it's a Raider related question or just something that you're going through in life and you might just want a second opinion. You know what I'm saying? I remember talk shows used to always have, you know what I'm saying, Steve Harvey, he on his show, they always have Ask Steve. So, you know what I'm saying, you can ask me questions like that. You know what I'm saying, and I'll definitely give you. It might be I might give you guys even a laugh when I talk about it too, because I'll be definitely trying to share, you know what I'm saying, my experience with that. And also, you guys, you need prayer for you and your family members. You know what I'm saying? Hit me up on IG at Twuan, TWUAN. Again, your business is between me, you, and the Lord. So you don't have to worry about me putting your business out there in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So don't be afraid. Just hit me up on IG. If your name is different, I'll say this too. If your name is different from the one that you have on, like, if your name is different from YouTube to Instagram, just let me know what your YouTube name is so I actually know who you are. Because if you tell me, you know what I'm saying, so-and-so on IG, I probably wouldn't even know it. So I know some people got Booty Shaker on IG and you got Raider Fan on, you know what I'm saying, YouTube. So please let me know who
you know
are.
it was me right away because I talk the same all the time. You be like, that ain't nothing but truly.
Hey, but definitely let me know. Let me know who you are. Let me know who you are, because I do want to know, you know what I'm saying, who I'm talking to. And if I haven't had a conversation with you, you know, we can still always have that conversation. Tony, I definitely want to get you on this before we close out. I always close out with a good
I love
word.
this part, man. I do, yeah.
Good word, positive word or phrase. For those that don't know what this is, pretty much every live I like to do this. It could be one word, it could be a phrase, it can be an idea, but we just want to release some good vibes. We want to release some good positivity to you. And, you know, hey, if it's something that you can apply to your life, go ahead and use it. So at this time, I'm gonna let Tony, you know what I'm saying, give his good word.
So I have advice. Take yourself out. Treat yourself good. I'm not gonna lie. You think, you know, with your girl, mom, auntie, whatever, wife, whatever, go get them fingers and them feet taken care of. You know what I mean? Like, do things for yourself, because, you know, we don't even realize how much negativity we deal with. We know we deal with negativity, and we don't really take the time out to treat ourselves as good as we treat everybody else. Yeah, we buy ourselves some shoes every now and then, but I'm talking about really, like, hit the barbershop, go get them feet done, go get them hands, you know, straight. Take yourself out for lunch. You know what I mean? You don't always got to be around people, and it don't always have to be about everybody else. You can make it mostly about everybody else, but numero uno, make sure you love you.
Yeah, that's good. You know what I'm saying? I remember my grandpa used to say, don't beat yourself, treat yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the same idea. You know what I'm saying? And I think I'm actually going to say that and tag along of what you said for my good word is just actually what my grandpa used to say. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace. But you know what I'm saying? He would say, don't beat yourself, treat yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't beat yourself up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many, and I'll say this too also as a good word. You know what I'm saying? There's so much in this world that's beating you up. So don't add on to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't, you try your best not to help the bear. You know what I'm saying? Or join the person beating you up. You know what I'm saying? Just take a breath, internalize it, and flip the switch.
That's right.
Internalize it and flip the switch. We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, I also want to plug a book. It's called. They have the first installment was the 4th agreement, but now they have the 5th agreement. I recommend that for everybody. And it came to mind because of what we're talking about, because there is a part in the book that talks about how human beings are the only species on the planet that retry themselves over and over and over again for the same mistake. Animals don't do it. Animals don't have depression, about something that happened a year ago or the year before that or the week before that, right? They make mistakes and they just keep being the species that they are. And we humans are the only ones that will retry themselves, double jeopardy for things that we thought we've forgiven ourselves for, or people have forgiven us for, and they have forgiven us for, but we just won't let it go. So again, be good to yourself, just like you're good to your wife, your day ones, and all of them. Do something nice for yourself. If it's not, it maybe once a month, and it don't have to be all out lavish. You know what I mean? Just take yourself to lunch one time. Not only go get your hair cut, go see the ladies, get your feet hooked up, get your hands hooked up. Go get a massage, maybe. Go get a $50 massage or something like that. Do something for yourself because it's very important for your mental health. Yeah. All right, I'm good.
Yeah, thank you for your good word, Tony. Go ahead and tell them. You know what I'm saying. Go ahead and tell the information and let them know how they can get in touch with you and all that great stuff.
All right, man. So if you just want to hang out with me, man, go to the Instagram. And I want to thank aleyesong.com for plugging me. He threw the link up there. ITZ always Tony. It's always Tony. A lot of content I drop on there. As you all know, I'm with the combat game as well as with the football game. Also, please, I'm trying to get, my algorithm is crazy on our YouTube channel, The Combat Lounge. A lot of views, not a lot of subscribers. I'm not worried about it. I'm just going to work harder. I'm just going to adjust and work harder. Please, if you like the fight game or any parts of the fight game, UFC, MMA, boxing, pro wrestling, anybody, if you enjoy that kind of competition, please subscribe to The Combat Lounge. The Twitter handle, same thing, The Combat Lounge. Our IG is at The Real Combat Lounge. And my government is actually the Facebook, but it is The Combat Lounge page. Anthony Morrow. Now y'all know me. Now y'all really know me. So yeah, Combat Lounge YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Holla at us and subscribe. Enjoy the content. My interviews are basically a extension of what you want to know. I want to know what you want to know. So there's a lot of good stuff on there. The Instagram is crazy. LinkedIn for my professionals. For my professionals that are on LinkedIn, I do have a LinkedIn, and I have other kind of content and things like that on my LinkedIn that are not on my other platforms. Please go ahead and go to the LinkedIn. If you don't have a LinkedIn, get one. You're grown. Get a LinkedIn. It's the platform that you're putting information out there for important people to see that may want to hire you or something like that for something. Okay. So definitely take advantage of that LinkedIn. All my content people, take advantage of the LinkedIn. I'm going crazy on there. I've gotten so many opportunities off of LinkedIn. I got more opportunities off of LinkedIn than any other platform. So I'm getting wordy. Love y'all. Take it away, Twani.
Yeah, man. I again thank you guys for definitely, coming on. If you like this content, I'm saying, I've seen that a lot of people were saying that, this was a great show. And I definitely do appreciate that, because I am working to bring the best content as possible. But if you guys can help me out by liking the video and also sharing Raider Twuan out there to your guys' platform and to your network, that will definitely help, spread this word and spread this content out. So if you guys can help me with that, that would be amazing. Again, if you guys are interested in being a donor, the information is always going to be in my in the comment section. In the description, but in the comment section, if you put !DON, the link will pop up, and you can see where you can sign to be a donor upon when you die. So if you're interested in doing that or signing up to be a donor, definitely do that. Again, you guys know how much that means to me. To be a donor. So that is all for this morning, this night, whatever time you catch it. If you didn't watch the whole thing, go back and watch the replay. It will definitely be available for you. But again, I always close out my videos like this.
I got one more thing, Twuan. One more thing. When you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel, please, or any of my platforms, please DM me and put Fight Fan or Go Raiders. I want to thank you personally for supporting us. So definitely, when you subscribe or follow or both, hit the DM, hit the message, or drop a comment and say Fight Fan or Go Raiders, and I will personally thank you. If I don't, you'll get a personal thank you from Unfiltered Truth, Phil Robinson, or K Morehouse. One of us will definitely personally thank you for being a part of us and supporting us. That's all I gotta say. Oh, and it can't be on you; it's gotta be in you.
Yeah, that's right. You guys, I want to also say, make sure you, for me, when you subscribe, definitely press the notification bell, because again, like this live, it was completely random. So definitely put on that notification bell so you're notified when we go live. And again, you are a blessing. Be a blessing to someone else. And let's go, Raiders.
We wrap them in a cloak of immortality and remember what great people they were. We recognize you, Virginia Mac, his sons Mike and Joey. They were a football family, so that John could pursue his dreams. To Raider Twuan and a tribute to John Madden and Al Davis, who declared that the fire that burns the brightest in the Raiders organization is the will to win. Ladies and gentlemen, the Madden family.
Yes, sir.